Alrighty. Now let's get some links sent out to places. Okay. No, YouTube. I don't want to start YouTube Premium. Thank you. I'm good. Okay. Alright, looks like everything is set up and running. And we are looking good. That can go away. And... And... Not offline. There we go. Alright, showing up, I think. Let's adjust this down a little. There we go. It's a little bit better. Up a little. There we go. Alright, nice. Cool. Today we are not painting Skaven, so they need to get out of the way. I'm going to go over there. I did get this guy all painted up. Little adorable rat man with his BDSM whip. Today, these are more Skaven parts. Today we are going to be painting Nurgle's Rotters. I don't care about Blood Bowl at all. But these models are freaking awesome. And I had 25mm bases left over. So I decided that I would pick them up and add them over onto my Poxwalkers. So they're going to get painted up to match these guys. So they'll be painted up in this kind of Nurgly bits, and then they'll just sort of sub in with them and give them a nice little bit of difference and stuff. That's my mom. Hi, Mom. Look, I have Poxwalkers. Aren't they neat? I think they're neat. And yeah, so here's one with some armor. So they go along with my Plague Marines. So these guys are going to get painted up to match these guys, and to go with that army, sort of to buff out my Poxwalkers. It's probably not monetarily the best way to get Poxwalkers, but it's cool new sculpts. And I mean, they have Pestigores, which is really awesome. If it focuses, there we go. Pestigores are super, super cool. So when I saw I could get some Pestigores and then add them to my Poxwalkers, I was like, hell yeah. Alright, so when you get this kit, specifically this one. Nice! That's really cool. Is it showing up good and all? Am I sounding good? It's nice it's coming through on the Alexa. So, this is the Blood Bowl box I sort of bought on a whim to modify up. So when you pick this up, you actually get two of the same runner. And there's slightly different build options in there for these guys, because you get two of each. I did not think the build options were different enough. So I kit bashed a bunch of them with some sorted Nurgle parts. Like this guy's got a different sword, a different head. Same with this guy. He's got kind of like a pinhead and big choppy swords and stuff like that. Just to get some variation in them. So I'm going to pick out, I don't know, we'll do like 3 different ones. We'll do this guy, and we'll do that guy, and we'll do one with Pestigore. Yeah, it's fine. We'll do that. Alright, so we're going to work on these guys. Nice! That's awesome. So we're going to work on these guys here, and we're going to get them done up. So when I paint these poxwalkers, mixing up sort of the like fleshy, dirty skin color is the most annoying part. So if I were to make errors and get it on that, it would be a pain in the tail to clean up. So it's the last step I always do. So I do all the detail painting and everything, and then I do sort of the dirty kind of flesh, dirty gross flesh afterwards. So let's see what we got. So in this guy, we've got some armor sections. We got a bunch of big flesh here in the belly. We got some gross goopy bits in the belly. We've got a weapon. We've got assorted little strips of leather and stuff. We'll do that as the same colors as the boots. And then we've got some pants. This guy's probably going to be the same. Yeah, we got a little bit of chain. We got some tentacles and some like goopy bits. We've got some cloth. We got a boot. We got some strips. We got a little bit of metal here and there. Same thing for this guy. We have a little bit of like horn on him, so we'll have to pull that as like bone color. We got them poking out the back there. There's a little bit of metal there. Lots and lots of goopy flesh, and we got his weird penis helmet. Same thing with the Pestigore. We got some bone. We've got the antler. We'll do that on bone. We've got a bunch of goopy flesh. He's wearing like some kind of Pestigore Speedo. We got some armor. So these guys inadvertently kind of got a sort of like light wash kind of thing to them, but it's fine. It'll look good as we go. Alright, so let's start with some of the armor. We'll get that blocked in. Oh, why is the other camera not working? No. Mr. Webcam, why? Why, webcam, why? Let us deactivate. Let us reactivate. There we go. Alright. Weird. Okay. Okay, so let's get some of that armor done. So I've got it on my wonderful palette here. And this is Kraken Scale by Army Painter. It's a super bright sort of mint green, and when you dirty it down, it looks really cool. So just being hit with basically just Agrax Earthshade, you get this really gross kind of green armor color. It looks kind of alien-y, and I love it. Okay, we're not using this brush. We'll use this brush. Alright, we're going to work on the big guy first. So this guy is the same as the standard model. And then I gave him a different head. I think that's a head from one of the Space Marine Heroes Series 3s. And then I gave him an arm from what I think is a Blight Lord. I liked the big, like, kind of rotten arm. I thought it fit his body really well. So if we get any color anywhere it's not supposed to be, that's okay. We're going to have to come back and clean up anyway. We're just sort of blocking in. So it's going to be a little messy, and my brush split. I might actually just go find a different brush. This one's been really annoying today. Hi, I'm Cam. Yeah, cool, I'm on cam. Sweet. Alright. Still getting the hang of staying on cam. There we go. And then I'm going to do work on this here. And I love the like crazy mint of this. Yeah, this brush sucks. Let's grab a different one. Not in the mood. Not in the mood. You are more of a detail brush. We'll use you. Hold on. Yeah, you'll do. You're fine. You're a big, thick character brush. And this is why I use, like, dollar brushes. Because when they're behaving poorly from me treating them poorly, I don't mind just grabbing another one. Because, like, that brush I've been using previously, I was using that for, like, 2 weeks. That's, like, my main brush. So it's pretty knackered. And it's splitting and stuff. It's really annoying. So just grab another one. So the green usually takes a couple of coats. I'm not thinning it down or anything. I'm using it pretty much straight out of the tub. So you do want it to be a little thicker. So you want to have that nice sort of vibrant color. So this guy has like, these are all essentially from a football board game, or not board game, a football miniatures game. So they have like vaguely football armor. So this guy technically has like metal football shoulder pads, but honestly it looks enough like real armor to me that I don't care. And I thought they would make fun additions to my Poxwalkers. It's getting close to the holidays, so when I was like, I want to pick something up, and I was like, what can I pick up that's not on my Christmas list? And there's a new edition of Blood Bowl coming out, so one of the local shops has gone crazy and gotten like all of the miniatures for it in. I mean, I'm not super interested in the game myself, like at all, but the minis for it are really, really nice. And they can sub in for lots of other things. I actually, the ones from the Skaven Blood Bowl team, I use in my Skaven army, because they're some of the newest sculpts Skaven have gotten in years. So they're really, really good for subbing stuff in. Yes, I love the shade of green, and it looks really, really good when you put weathering over it. When I first bought some Death Guard guys to play Kill Team, the problem was I thought it would be kind of funny to call them the Dark Humors. I found that amusing. So I painted them black. Actually, yeah. So I painted them black like this, and it looks pretty cool. But if you do any weathering on it, you can't see it at all. They're just black. You know, and as some of the first minis I painted, I didn't really know enough at the time to be like, oh man, you're not going to see that they're dirty or anything like that. So when I got some more Plague Marines from the Dark Imperium set, I was like, I'm gonna paint these guys lighter, because then as they get dirty, you'll actually be able to see the dirt on them, and you'll be able to see some of the the weathering and the staining and stuff, as opposed to it just being black. But yeah, I found the name so funny that I was like, I have to do that. Plus, I didn't know at the time, so they were the first minis I painted, and I love them, and they're very nice looking, and I played many games with them. But all the new ones I get, I am swapping them over to this color scheme instead. When you just prime Nurgle miniatures, it's always the game of, is this meat or metal? we go. Down underneath. Am I still on cam? Yeah, cool. There we go. Alright. So all the green is going to take more than one coat, but we're going to just going to block it in a little bit. Okay, so these guys, they have these weird like football shoulder pads and knee pads and stuff. So I need to remember to be on an lookout for those. But I think these guys will mix in really good with my poxwalkers. And I just finished rebasing all of my Nurgle stuff. So I pulled them all out, fancied their bases up a little bit, resprayed them all, got them all refinished. And they all just got redone and are looking pretty snazzy. Previously I picked up the Dark Imperium box, which is sort of like a big Nurgle faction with these guys in it. And you get a bunch of Plague Marines, you get a bunch of Poxwalkers. It's really cool. But I was painting them for a kill team tournament, so I pretty much only painted the models I needed. And then Corona hit, and I was not in the mood to paint something plague themed at all. So I was like, screw this, I'm gonna paint some space dwarfs and some rats and stuff instead. Get some of the dry paint out of there. So I ended up with all, just like this weird mishmash of like Nurgle models that I hadn't painted. So I painted them all up, and at the same time I was finishing up the bases for the other guys. Then I wanted to prime them all the same kind, and it was cool, but they all match now. They're actually just on the table behind me. I haven't taken them down to the cabinets yet. But there's some fun. Got my Nurgle knight over there and stuff. It's pretty rad. Alright, this guy doesn't look like he has any other metal. Let's paint the rim of his weird dick helmet. Weird dick helmet is not the thing you would normally think of with Nurgle, but so what do these guys' helmets look like? Which is strange, because most of the helmets on the Plague Marines look like gas masks. So these ones are sort of these like weird, just like featureless kind of buckets, are really weird. Because like this guy's helmet, that's a Plague Marine helmet. It's not from this box. This is just a leftover bit I had. So yeah, so that's all the names for the like 40k chaos gods are all like based on real like human stuff, which on one hand is kind of lame, and on the other hand it's kind of cool. So like this is Nurgle spelled differently than that, but same kind of idea. And he actually has a large demon, like a demon under him, named Samus, who is a plague demon. And you're reading the books is actually the first one you encounter. He possesses a space marine and turns him into this like big rotten monster. It's pretty cool. And it's like the first time you encounter one in the books. And I'm assuming Samus comes back later, but I haven't gotten that far in the Horus Heresy books yet. No. Alright, this guy got some metal? Yeah, he does. So each one of the Chaos Gods, because there's 4 main ones. Each one of them sort of has a Beastman faction of their related to them. So like themed animal creatures. But Nurgle's faction actually doesn't have any models besides these. Some of the other ones have like tons of them. So like Tzeentch has the Zangors and stuff like that, and there's lots of Zangor models. But these are like the only Pestigor models you can get. So these are like rot corrupted beastmen. So they're all like bloated and twisted and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of the nature side of Nurgle, because like Nurgle is essentially the corrupted god of nature. So I like the idea that, you know, there's a lot of like nature imagery and stuff, and I feel like the what are they called, the Pestigors sort of reinforce that really well. But like if you look at some of the Plague Marines, you know, they have hooves, and there's lots of like Great Green Man of the Forest kind of imagery and stuff like that. It's pretty rad, and it's one of the reasons I really like Nurgle stuff, sort of like as a faction, both the demons and the you know, like the Space Marines and stuff. Plus it's all fat, and as being a big fatty, I like that. You know, I ain't a tiny elf. I'm much closer to this than I am some tiny elf, so. So yeah, I had some green left, so I figured I would use it up and just plop it on a different guy. So I just grabbed another model out of the set. So when I'm painting troops or like groups that have a bunch of guys in them, I do generally like, there's a couple of tricks I like to do. One of them is to do them in sets. So I'll be like, okay, I'm going to paint these 3 guys together. Or, you know, something like that. Or I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to paint, this unit, or I'm going to paint all the captains or all the guys with laser guns or whatever. I like to break it up a little bit instead of just being like, oh, I have 10 guys I have to paint. Because it sort of gives your brain that like start and stop. And when you're doing anything, your brain really likes that. The 2 sections of any task you enjoy are the beginning and the end. You don't actually enjoy the middle of the task. So when you break it down into smaller groups, it's more rewarding. Even though it's really not. It's the same amount of work, but you're like, yay, I did something. Good me. Kind of tempted just to do all the armor and get some more grain out. Yeah, fuck it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do all the armor. I'm gonna disregard everything I just said and do the thing I said I don't do. And we're gonna do all of the armor. And we're gonna count that as a task. So the one thing with these the Blood Bowl minis is they tend to be like a slightly higher scale, which is a little weird. You know, they tend to just be a little bit bigger. So all Warhammer minis are technically 28mm heroic scale. So what that means is that all the humans and stuff are sort of larger than life. They have, you know, like godlike kind of proportions. It makes the minis just slightly bigger. It also means that they tend to have slightly, you know, sort of like fantasized proportions and stuff. Which, you know, is not a bad thing. But all the Blood Bowl minis, they're all slightly bigger than that. So like the head on this mini is like massive compared to like a regular 40K mini. Must be done by the same mythology. Yes, a lot of the stuff is. So like if you play Dark Angels, which is a faction of Space Marines, basically every one of their like named characters is named after a demon for some reason. And it's, you know, it's one of those like trying to conjure up like pseudo-Christian vibes. I mean, sort of a big thing in 40k, where they try to be like, you know, everything is like super gothic, and everyone has like these weird Roman names, and you know, like the fucking spaceships are like huge like space cathedrals and shit, you know. Like if you didn't show off like space or aliens, you could take that same setting and turn it into like a werewolf movie kind of thing. There we go. There we go. So yeah, it's as far as getting these as Poxwalkers, you get 12 of them and they're like $35, something like that. Or you can get 7 Poxwalkers for $15. So technically, just buying a box of Poxwalkers is more cost efficient. If you just wanted like a billion Poxwalkers, it would be more cost efficient to do that, because then they end up being about $2 a piece. Whereas these guys at, let's just round it up to 40, you know, 12 for 40, you're still looking at slightly higher than $2. You're not into the like $3 range entirely, or like $2.75 or something, but you know, the nice thing about these is that they will give you unique models, or at least more unique models than the standard Poxwalkers, because the standard Poxwalkers are the same 7 models repeated, unless you can get the sprue of 10 from Dark Imperium, and unfortunately as of right now that is the only place you can get that sprue. But even then, in the Dark Imperium box, you got the same sprue repeated twice, so you're still stuck with the same 10 appearances. So like stuff like this guy, like he's been customized with bits and stuff, because I already had this guy from the other sprue. So yeah. All right. So I love this Pestigore face. He just looks so grumpy. Oh no, camera, why? Why, camera? Why you die, camera? For real? Man. Dude. Man. Apparently my fucking desk camera is exhausted. God damn. That is obnoxious. I wonder if I can get a charging cable for that. Well, I was going to keep painting these green armor, and since I'm still waiting and my food has not arrived yet, I might as well stay on cam and at least still talk to people, even if I'm just, yeah, my desk cam exhausted. I'm still painting green armor though. I guess, oh, that food is here, so there we go. Alright, well, I will go ahead and I will call it. But thank you all for watching. And I will charge this camera for next time. You'll probably see a thing pop up in a second that's like, in charging mode. There we go. Alright, she's going to charge now. And I will continue painting these. I'm probably going to paint these guys almost entirely on stream, because I've got some Space Marines to work on, and I've got some Skaven to work on off stream, so I'll probably do these guys entirely on stream. And they'll go from being like the Poxwalkers I showed at the beginning. It'll be pretty sweet. Yeah, it was awesome. I'm probably gonna stream. I don't know, probably again tonight. So it'll probably be too late for you guys though, but it'll be good. Well, thank you all for watching, and